Pro Football Focus put out an interesting tweet this week that has comparisons for all the second-year quarterbacks, all the guys that came in last year and played.
Dude, this is crazy.
You like this, huh? Because this is controversial.
Yeah,
so,
this is okay. This is.
So I'll start it off before I get to Drake Maye. So this is comparisons, ceiling and floor for Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake Maye, Michael Pennix, J.J. McCarthy, and Bo Nix. Okay. All the first-round quarterbacks from last year. So let's start with Caleb Williams. Brian Ferzocco, I'm not sure he'd like to read this one, the Bears fan that he is. Caleb Williams, the ceiling is Jordan Love. That's the ceiling for Bears' second-year quarterback, number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams. Okay. The floor is bust. Just flat-out bust, they said. So they didn't even give a player. They just said bust.
What would you call that? What would be the bust? You'd call it the old San Diego Chargers.
Ryan Leaf. Jamarcus Russell. There's a couple of those real bad busts.
Yeah.
So let's go to Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Ceiling, Lamar Jackson. Okay. I actually think his ceiling might be a little bit higher than Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson, that's their comp ceiling.
Holy smokes.
I do, because I think he's a better passer than Lamar Jackson entering the league.
So who would you put him up with?
I don't know that there is one. I think his ceiling.
He's in his own.
I think his ceiling is becoming the new ceiling for future quarterbacks that are built like him and play like him.
Interesting. Okay.
His floor is Kyler Murray, who is got a second contract, whatever it is, $200 million.
Still a very serviceable quarterback.
Pretty good floor right there.
Yeah.
Do we want to do Drake Maye next, or do we want to save Drake Maye for last? Okay, so let's go Michael Pennix Jr.
Oh, I like this one.
Down in Atlanta.
Got a great arm on that kid. Got a great
big arm, ceiling. Justin Herbert, big arm, doesn't win a damn thing, but got a big arm. Floor, Jameis Winston. So Jameis Winston,
30 touchdown guy.
He's not going to throw that many interceptions.
I was going to say, is that he's a 30 interception guy and a 5,000 yard pass?
But Andy, he's going to be marketable AF, and he's going to be everybody's favorite soundbite.
Sure, and he'll be a great backup somewhere.
I
and
love
he'll
his
give
game.
speeches.
I love the way he throws the ball.
You're a Pennix guy, huh?
I'm a huge Pennix guy.
That's Pennix guy. She's a huge Pennix guy.
One letter makes all.
Ted, full disclosure. Ted, full disclosure. Back when we were working the nights and we hadn't forged the Voltron of WEEI Afternoons, I was all for, instead of taking Maye at 3, moving back a little bit, trying to acquire extra first-round capital and taking Michael Penix. I'm a big fan.
If you were watching me give my analysis that night, you would have said, "Hey, Ted agrees with me."
Yeah, and guess what? You're both wrong.
I said, look, it would have taken some big balls.
Yeah.
And you would have had to thread the needle.
Yep.
And you would have had to risk some stuff. But that would be, to me, my ideal scenario for the Patriots to play out. It didn't because, it was too risky. And I like Drake Maye. I still like Drake Maye. I think Pennix, there is a winning quotient, winner kind of thing to him that's a part of his game.
So J.J. McCarthy was the next quarterback taken. Obviously, he didn't play last year. He missed the entire year on IR. But his ceiling, this is some high praise, and I think
Baker Mayfield.
No. Much higher ceiling.
Ooh.
Joe Burrow is his ceiling.
That is out of control.
That is high in terms of high ceiling.
Joe Burrow's the best quarterback in the NFL. Get out of here.
You can argue that. And the floor is Sam Darnold, who's a weird floor because he was a bust until he wasn't a bust anymore last year with Minnesota, like that whole thing.
But he'll play 12 years in the NFL.
Right.
And 12-year career.
And then before we get to Drake Maye, the last first-round pick, we know Bo Nix with the Broncos. Ceiling is Drew Brees, which was a common pre-draft comparison.
Great one, yeah.
Sean Payton, that's why he fit there with Sean Payton. But his floor, you ever hear of this name? He might sound familiar. Mac Jones.
Oh.
That's not very nice.
Wait, Drake
Can we get some Mac Jones drops right now?
Ted, don't you already feel like what you saw last year? People talked about how good the synergy was, master and apprentice, between Josh McDaniels and Mac Jones year one, go to the playoffs, giant roster, all that money, etc. And then it fell apart when they did Andy's favorite thing, reverse engineering the offense and putting Patricia in as OC. But don't you feel like you saw more out of Bo Nix in his first year with Sean Payton than you did with Mac Jones and Josh McDaniels? Because I'm convinced they're a great match.
Yeah, I just got to keep working and got to get better. I'm just going to keep working hard, and we're just everybody together. And it wasn't my best, and I got to be better. And
doesn't that just give you so much confidence to hear that voice?
It does not.
That's so Bo, was it Bo Nix? Mac? Okay, look, you're right. You saw Mac Jones, especially. I saw it trending really positively. I kind of came away with Mac Jones, impressed with Mac Jones in that first camp. I'm not gonna lie. Rookie year, Cam Newton's a big personality. Mm-hmm. He's a favorite in the fans. The head coach loves him, and the players respect him. And so he's got to overcome that. I thought that was tough to overcome. Just being, kind of on a Belichick staff and working with a Josh McDaniels is tough. And I thought he had a really good rookie campaign when you kind of consider what he had to go through to get, Bill wasn't like buying in early on. So
he
earned it, man. But to answer your question, I think Bo Nix has got this natural leadership thing.
He's wired better.
He's just wired more for the position.
40. But I do believe he is wired better. So, okay, we got those comparisons. We can quibble and discuss those. But the most important one for us, I am definitely going to quibble about because I don't care for it. Drake Maye, ceiling, Trevor Lawrence.
College Trevor Lawrence?
That's unbelievable.
Floor, Daniel Jones.
Same player.
Wow.
Trevor Lawrence
not terribly different, correct, Dan Ball?
Trevor Lawrence?
If that's really Drake Maye's ceiling, we got a problem.
Oh, big time.
We're porked.
Screwed, brother.
Absolutely.
No chance.
And I don't think it's true. Like, to me, right there, ceiling, Josh Allen. Put it there. Like, do one of the ceiling is a guy that most people think the Jags currently regret giving a contract to, that he hasn't become what he was supposed to be in terms of the number 1 overall pick and a true franchise quarterback. I hate it. The only thing, though, that scares me is if you think about it, I mean, Trevor has, I thought, special athletic traits, too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was really kind of, he just didn't have the mental makeup or the mentality that it takes to maybe be a franchise player. And that's kind of what we're all trying to figure out with Drake. Yes.
It's kind of like, hey, he's special talent. He didn't come in with the same kind of, fervor that Trevor Lawrence did. But the point is, it's not the craziest thing to compare and say that's his ceiling if you think about it. But you're also saying that he's never going to, ever figure it out like Trevor Lawrence hasn't figured it out. But again, they're saying it's similar mindset, so maybe they are saying it. I don't know. But it's an interesting comp, and
it is,
to say the least.
I think one of the differences, even though we're talking about the makeup, like sort of the mental, like we can see physical tools, but how are they going to deal with the ups, the downs? Drake Maye dealt with downs in college. Like Trevor Lawrence was the most dominant high school / college quarterback or one of that ever lived. Yeah. I think he lost
his freshman year was insane, Andy. His freshman year was
high
incredible.
school, everything. He lost like 3 times in his whole life before he got to the NFL. Whatever the number is, it's a really small.
Cam Newton story.
Right. And now you get to the NFL and you're not winning and it's not coming easy and you're losing and people are questioning you. And Drake Maye dealt with that last year at North Carolina with Mac Brown and a new offense and a new offensive line. Yeah. Like, so he has been, and then the Mac Jones part of it is he didn't really deal with anything. He played 1 year at Alabama. They won the title. They were great. The offense was great. Sarkisian was great. So
you're basically saying he's never really had like a great staff with great supporting cast, with a great vision.
Right.
Going all the way back to college.
Correct. So he has dealt with some of the trials and tribulations that could help him deal with this. I also think it's weird, and Dan Ball and I were talking about this on the car over, because I know Brian Frizzoco didn't like either the floor or the ceiling, really, for Caleb Williams. Why was Caleb Williams the only guy
where's Brian? Is he around? Get on the mic.
Why was Caleb Williams the only guy who could be a bust? And Mac Jones was a bust. Mac Jones was absolutely a bust in New England.
Are they saying that let's see, who they have is the best is comp? Jordan Love. See, I would say you maybe think it's a bust because his ceiling's so high that it could just.
But I'm not even sure the ceiling's so high. Jordan Love's
terrible.
I think the ceiling is Patrick Mahomes.
Jordan Love's not terrible.
And he's not terrible, but this is a terrible comparison.
Right.
So it's not fair because he's in division and he could it's first of all, I don't know who works for Polymarket in terms of, because this was put together by Polymarket Football, the gambling site that always gives you the odds for politics and certain futures in sports as well. I have no idea who their analysts are and their number crunchers and quants that came up with these comps as well. I don't think being compared to Trevor Lawrence, who may still have a higher ceiling in the NFL, guys, is the worst thing in the world. Being Daniel Jones would be positively ghastly for Drake Maye as well. And as far as Caleb Williams goes, Jordan Love, okay, that's something you should aspire to this year. That's maybe his 2025 ceiling. His ceiling could be much higher than that, especially working with Ben Johnson and the offense that this guy's putting together in his first year as a head coach. But to say that the guy might be a bust, what is he just going to do? Is that because of his emotions? Is that because he's weird and unique and different?
His father.
Yeah.
I think it's also to do with his father. I said this to Dan Ball. These other guys, like if Drake Maye busts out, or even Mac Jones, he's busted out, but he was the backup in Jacksonville. Now he's the backup in San Francisco.
I'm kind of curious to see how it goes in San Francisco.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
But
reportedly that was the team that wanted to move up.
3.
Yeah, 3.
Yes.
Right.
But he can probably bounce around as a backup for 5, 6, 8 years.
Easy.
Caleb Williams with his dad, who remember the reports of his dad, didn't want him to go to Chicago. Then when he did,
of the team,
wanted part of the team. Then he wanted to do something in his contract that was borderline tax evasion and was going to get them in trouble with the IRS. Like that headache and extra, that could make him a bust where teams just go, nope. Don't want anything to do with it. We don't want you as a backup. You have physical talent, but you're not worth it.
I haven't heard anything in his rookie year.
I haven't, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. So I thought these were interesting comps, but the one that bothered me the most, honestly, was the Trevor Lawrence for Drake Maye. Because I think if the upside of Drake Maye is Trevor Lawrence, I'm worried.
Then what was this whole thing for?
Yeah. Right.
Why'd we take him?
Yeah, Ted, let me ask you right now. Okay, you are the head coach of an NFL program. You just got hired. These are all free agents, and one of them will take your 5-year, $300 million bag that you would offer. Between Pennix, McCarthy, Nix, Maye, Daniels, and Williams, which one would you want the most?
Brother, it's kind of a runaway because this is who I love coming in. I'm a big Jaden Daniels fan. I always have been, always was. And, you saw how he played this year. He's a different cat. I just think I love his mental makeup. I love it. His playing style is so unique and fun, and he's a special player to me. So that was my first choice. I was very enamored with Michael Pennix, and I just was a little reluctant on Drake Maye. I don't think I really saw how special his traits were in college. I needed to see him here in a Patriots uniform before I go, oh, I see why he was drafted number 3 overall. He's got special traits to me. Does he have the makeup to be, a championship makeup? That's still to be determined.
So those are your Drake Maye comparisons and NFL quarterback comparisons. Some people have said that this could be the greatest quarterback class of all time. We'll see if they reach the floors of those comparisons. They definitely will not be that. If they reach the ceiling, though, I'm not sure they even will be that either. Like, I don't know if Jordan Love for the Bears makes that a great number 1 overall pick, or Trevor Lawrence for the Patriots.
Can we just agree that, Jordan Love came in on a completely different hype train than what Caleb Williams is coming in?
He came in.
And so I feel like Caleb Williams is already kind of far ahead of Jordan Love, yet they have Jordan Love as his ceiling.